Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Are you tired of trying this and trying that, and no matter what you have tried or done, you still struggle with your golf game? If so, this might lead you going down the club fitting path, and it really doesn't matter if you've already been through the fitting experience before or if this is going to be your very first time. This video is a video you're not going to want to miss, because I'm going to share the 5 best tips to help you get the most out of the fitting experience, and with this information, I can assure you, you'll be able to navigate the experience with relative ease. So without further delay, let's jump in. In this video, I want to highlight what a club fitter is looking for as the fit progresses, because I believe it's this information that can definitely help you not only hold the club fitter's feet to the fire to ensure we don't leave any stone unturned, but it's also something that will allow you to make sure we are checking all of the boxes. So here's tip number 1, improving your strike point. And this is the number 1 thing I will evaluate as the fit progresses, because as we try different combinations throughout the fitting, I would expect that stand pattern to be super tight and moving in the direction I want, which is center of face. So if your stand pattern looks anything like this, sometimes heel, sometimes toe, high, low, anywhere but the center, this is a red flag that we haven't found the best combination yet. And maybe your stand pattern is tight, but it's just in the wrong part of the head. This would also be a red flag that we're close, but we're just not there yet. Make sure that as you try different combinations, that your club fitter is evaluating where on the club face are we coming into contact with the golf ball, and are we consistent. Tip number 2 is we need to tighten up your dispersion. And although this may seem like a no-brainer, you would be surprised of how many club fitters get this wrong. So if I'm ever going to help you drop shots and buckets, I need to do a couple things very well, and this is what you're going to want to look for. So the first thing we need to assess is, where is your shot radius located? And we need to understand how wide is your shot radius. So as an example, let's say your furthest miss to the right is 150 feet, but your furthest miss to the left is 10 feet. So if all I ever did was shift that radius 70 feet to the left over the center of the cup, we've already made some major improvements, because the worst miss you're ever going to be faced with is an 80-foot miss. But in order to tighten it up even further, we need to understand how wide our shot radius needs to be. And we're going to determine this by the max distance you feel comfortable with making your longest putt. So if you tell me, John, at 15 feet I can't miss, then that means I'm going to chase a 30-foot radius, because it doesn't matter if you're putting 15 feet from the right or 15 feet from the left, it's still a 15-foot putt, and this is how we can help you tighten it up. Tip number 3 is your club fitter should help you reduce the fluctuation that you see from shot to shot. So not only am I focused on the distance, I'm focused on your apex, your landing angle, your backspin, your launch angles. All of these things are important and can yield a different result if there's a large fluctuation. So as an example, let's say your apex is coming in as low as 50 to 60 feet. But it's also sometimes coming in as high as 120 to 130 feet. By simply tighten that up and get it within, say, 5 to 10 feet of one another, can I yield a closer result? Not only is the distance going to be tighter, but you're going to see everything else get tighter as well. Then all a club fitter has to do is wash, rinse, and repeat, and look for any other outliers. So anytime we see those large fluctuations, that is exactly where we need to apply focus. This way, we're being very prescriptive with the direction we are taking the fit, and we're just not playing whack-a-mole. Tip 4 is you should see fewer outliers as the fit progresses. Another way to look at it is you should be hitting more good shots and less bad shots. But please understand this, that is, I'm not chasing perfection. So out of a group of 5, I really only need to see 3 good shots for me to love a combination. But if for whatever reason you feel you are hitting more bad shots than you are good, then this can indicate one of 2 things. The first thing it can indicate is it's not the right combination and we need to continue moving on. But if your fitter tries to force something in your hands and you're just not seeing those great results, then definitely push back. The other thing it could potentially indicate is that you might be running out of gas. So if you don't feel like you're as fresh as you were when you started, then kindly ask your club fitter if you could press pause, revisit the fitting on another day, and pick up where you left off, and you just might be surprised of what the results yield, and you can keep the fitting moving in a positive direction. Bringing it all home with our fifth and final tip: if it doesn't look good, feel good, or play good, please do not settle. If at address, the golf club just doesn't appeal to your eye, maybe it has a little thicker top line, maybe you can see the back of the iron when it's sold on the ground, or maybe you don't like the color scheme on the top of the driver, or no matter the reason, if it doesn't look good to your eye, I promise you, you will have this mental barrier and it's going to be really hard to overcome. So just ask your club fitter to try something else. The second thing, and I really can't emphasize this point enough, if it doesn't feel good and you're striking it anywhere other than the middle of the face, please push back. That's an indicator that it's not the right fit. And if you do settle, you're likely going to have to change your swing just to chase that feeling, and that's not good either. The last piece of the puzzle, and arguably the most important, is please make sure it plays good. Because if it's not going the number you want or getting into the launch window you desire, then there's a pretty good chance you will have to alter your technique in order to chase the number or to affect the height. And really no good can come from this, because this could potentially wreak havoc on the rest of your golf game. So as long as it looks good, feels good, plays good, then you should be on your way to playing some really good golf. So there you have it. That's our top 5 tips to help you get the most out of the club fitting experience. And we hope you agree with us that these were the best 5 tips. And heck, do me a favor. Let me know in the remarks below what was your favorite tip that you heard today. And if you have any questions or comments, also leave them in the remarks below. And I'll do my very best to help you find the answers to the questions you're searching for. So until next week, thanks for watching.